Good evening, everybody. I hope you can all see me and hear me clearly. Please do type in if you're saying, just to confirm that, hey, the audio and video are working fine. And so just type in the chat window, in the chat box, that audio and video are fine. You're able to see and hear me clearly. Sorry, we're starting with a little bit of a delay, but a couple of issues with tech. So I'm just going to wait for some confirmation to see that things are working fine. Good evening to all of you. It took me a little bit long to come back here because we just finished one session, and we wanted to just make sure that the place was functional before we started the session. Fine. So good to see all of you. Good evening to all of you. I'm going to shoot to answer most of the questions here. But before that, I want to just make sure that the tech is working fine, that you're able to see me clearly and hear everything. So see and hear, audio and video are fine. Lovely. This is from Rangarajan. So I mean, audio and video are fine. That is super useful. So that's good confirmation. Thank you. Thank you, Rangarajan. Before we even begin, happy Independence Day to all of you. It's a wonderful day. One of my favorite celebrations. So I'm a big fan, big sucker for the Independence Day gig. Not in this present avatar of let's do some e-commerce sale and call it a Prime Day and a Flipkart Day and all that. But the idea of what it meant. So what our freedom struggle leaders went through, the kind of India they created and carved out and bequeathed to the rest of us. What we have done with it, that's part two. We'll worry about that later on. But I'm a big fan of the leaders we had right at the beginning of our journey as a country. And I think it's a beautiful day to pay tribute to the fact that people laid down their lives to create this entity. It has been a freak of nature. Nobody in the world, apart from Indians, gave India a chance of surviving. Several times we look at India and you look at all the data objectively. There is no functional reason why we should stick on and then band together as a country. It's a marvel, really. Several things that they set in motion have enabled this. And several times India has surprised itself by being a phenomenal united nation, right? With gazillion contradiction. We can't spend 15 minutes with each other without screaming insults or saying something sly or nasty about some other person. Right? So that's part of the fabric. India without contradictions would be not India at all. There are gazillion contradictions, plenty of them. Right? But still a freak of nature. So we should be. I'm glad. I'm thankful for that. And I think we owe a debt of gratitude to the guys people who fought for independence and created this entity and fought tooth and nail to lay down the framework for the rest of us to follow. And it's probably as good a day as any to say, hey, thanks. And wonderful. Enough of that, which is why we have the flag, because we have Independence Day going on now. I hope it is not something wrong. Give me a second. There seems to be something wrong. Give me a second. I'm going to take this. Hello? Hello? Enga irukpa? Okay. I'll just figure it out. I'm going to carry on. Sorry, apparently there was some presentation as well. I thought we were doing only a Q&A. Anyway, we'll live with it. I'll see if we have time, we'll squeeze in the presentation as well. Sorry about this, guys. Sorry about taking the call. I think it was from one of the team. Anyway, let's start off with this. Happy Independence Day to all of you. The Independence Day flag part also caused a little bit of a delay. My daughter had very kindly drawn the flag and said, look, you should bear it. And she told me to tell all of you. So make sure that all of you wear an Independence Day flag or stick something in definitely on the day, on Sunday. Lovely. I'm going to go to the questions. Let's get to our near-term matters in hand. Isha ji, I find it hectic to manage CAT prep and engineering. Any suggestions, sir? How many hours to allot for CAT prep? If you do 10-15 hours per week, that is sufficient. It is a balancing act for everyone. If you're doing it as a final year engineering student, it is probably that much easier than doing it as someone who is working. So you still have a lot of time. Sacrifice your weekend, sacrifice movies, streaming, all of that, and have a go at it. It should be possible. How to fine-tune our preparation without feeling overwhelmed? This is Nirisha Pairu. You tell me. I don't have all the answers. It is tough. There are some elements to it. I'm going to give you the broad outline. Keep the belief. You need to have this belief that, hey, things will fall in place. I am going to be confident about this. That is important. Second thing, accept the fact that there's going to be some volatility in this course. Sometimes our mind goes through cycles up and down at every volatility, every element of volatility. That is distressing. So we have to accept that there's going to be some volatility in scores and preparation cycles, and you have good days and bad days. Accept that and carry the belief. Say, look, I'm not sure about the outcomes, but I'm going to throw everything in. Make all your variables as input metrics. Did I prepare enough? Did I read a novel? Did I practice? I'm good. Things may or may not fall in place, but they're not going to be, and it's not going to be an issue because I did not throw everything into it. And that's all we can ask from ourselves, really. That is Nisha Pairu. Jay Sudan, currently getting good percentile in English, but pressure builds up in DILR. DILR is a section like that. Hang in there, improve your question selection through time. Make sure that you know what your strong spots are. Make sure you know what the sweet spot is, and then leave the rest. So make sure that you know which question you like, which is your territory. And that starts getting better and better with more mocks. It will fall in place. Carry the belief. Sony Shah, what should be the preparation strategy from now on for getting 80th percentile plus? First of all, 80th percentile plus is very much doable. Second, you have to orient yourself towards mocks and not towards a traditional preparation strategy, which is learn everything, practice, then go to mocks. Mocks give you massive inputs, and mocks take time to get digested. You can't say, I'll prepare everything now for 2 months, practice for 1.5 months, the last 3 weeks I'll take mocks. By the time your body, your system digests the mocks, CAT is done. So your strategy has to be woven around mocks. You have to pick and choose your battles if you're hard pressed for time. For Quant, definitely get comfortable with arithmetic. For VARC, just read, don't worry about other sections too much. For LRDI, start with previous year CAT questions. Narrow down your focus, get comfortable with one home territory, then build from there. I'm interested to get first government back job, then back to the MBA. Is it right? It's a very personal choice, Raghavendra. You can do both parallelly, but if you feel like the government job is a must, give it a crack, but definitely take CAT. Don't skip CAT. Harshit Srivastav, what should be the target score for 98 percentile for GEM fresher in a 2-hour paper? GEM fresher doesn't matter. 98 percentile is common for all. I think we have a video getting released on specifically for that tomorrow. Have a look at that. It's going to be we've done a very thorough analysis on what are the scores that are likely to fetch different percentiles. So have a crack at that. From memory, I think a score of 91, 92 should fetch 98 percentile. An overall score of 91, 92. Ardesh Gupta, we can crack CAT exam with 95 percentile? Definitely yes, definitely yes. Nikhil Bansal, really demotivated by constant low scores. Could you please guide? Sometimes when you get consistent low scores, 50, 60, 70, not 70, 50, 60, 45, 60 percentile, then it is time to narrow your focus. Say, hey, I'm all over the place. I don't need to be a doyen of everything. I know that I like all puzzles which are heavily number related. I know that I read simple technology passages and I get happy. I know that anything on economics or philosophy, I'm out. I know that I know percentages, profit and loss, speed, time, races. I'm going to look for these, put them in the bag, then treat everything else as bonus. You do that. Recognize your super strengths and orient everything towards that. Whatever is in the bag is in the bag. You change the game like that, you can go to 80. And then iteration 2 starts. Sometimes the scores are very low and demotivating. Narrow your focus and say, happy puzzles, only 2 passages, nothing wrong. 1 DILR set, nothing more. 7 questions in Quant, nothing more. That takes you to 80th percentile. Then build from there. And remember, the scores required for getting 80th percentile are modest. They look astronomically high. 80th percentile seems like a phenomenally tough thing. We end up attempting so much because of the pressure we put ourselves under. So for a 2-hour paper, 80th percentile overall could be 50 marks, 55 marks, which is tough. I'm not saying 55 marks is very easy, but in the context of what we are putting ourselves through, 55 marks, if you think about it, is 1 LRDI puzzle and 1 more question. That's 15 marks. That can come. Any tough paper, that can come. It is 8 quant questions, all correct, plus 24 takes us to 40 marks or 39 marks. 2 RC passages, all correct or almost all correct, and then some assorted questions. So another 25 marks. 15 plus 25 plus 25 takes you to 65 marks, 88th percentile in the bag. It's not too difficult. So if your scores are very low, reshape the whole narrative and then you'll be good to go. VRC scores are not improving. Hang in there, my friend. Keep writing. Keep writing lots of mocks. It will get better. Pallav Goyal, target score. We have a detailed video on that getting released tomorrow. Go through that. It's actually some very good work done by the team. Jumped out. Cumberbatch, Sherlock, is it helpful to do 3 hour mocks now? If you have them in inventory, you have the bandwidth, try them. But from now, the game is 2 hour mocks. You need to get used to that. Aditya Narayan Tiwari, how to refresh your mind and again gain composure with moving on from one question to another. Sometimes physical cues help. I'm a big fan of physical cues. Take a deep breath. Look outside and come back. The 15 seconds that you spend doing that is worthwhile. You just refocus and then start again. Right? Samyukta Srikanth, will scoring more in VRC improve my overall score? Definitely yes. And so the overall percentile number comes from the overall normalized score. So you need to clear the section cutoff. After that, incremental marks where you get is up to you. So if you kill VRC, the extra 10 marks finally, if it comes from VRC, Quant or LRDI, doesn't matter. Your percentile will reflect that. I'll have a look. Bhumika, but I feel like if I don't leave my job on time for prep, I will not only not be able to prepare properly, but also cross the peak of bell curve for work X points. Please advise. There is no such thing as a magical peak of bell curve, especially not from now. You submitted the form. So if you quit now, it is pretty much only for CAT preparation. And so the peak of bell curve thing is overrated. So from 36 months to 42 months, it's not such a big swing. So I see the point. I see that you have maximum points for work experience right now. Any more is useless, and I'm committed to the CAT journey. I can quit. If you're in that boat and you feel very confident that you can land a job on March 1 if you need to, then it's a good strategy. I'm not a big fan of quitting the job. I still believe that jobs are precious. And so, but if you've got 36 months of experience, good track record, you've submitted the form that gets you peak points, and you feel like this is your last shot, and you're confident of landing a job back on Feb 1 or March 1 or Jan 1 or whenever you want to get back in the game, and you say, look, I'm going to quit on now, September, October, November, I'm going to throw into CAT. December, I'm going to consolidate everything and have a go at X80. Jan 10th, I'm back in the job. In the meanwhile, therefore, while going to a job interview, I just have a 4-month gap. That works. That goes up. It's a prudent strategy vis-a-vis jobs. And I keep saying, don't quit your job. It's pretty much for freshers who don't have any corporate experience and they feel that they need to throw everything into CAT preparation. And you do it 1 year and then you've got like an 18-month gap sitting on your CV suddenly, and the second attempt becomes super crucial, super tough. Everything becomes more pressurizing. But if you've got 36 months of experience and you're playing the game really well, go for it. This is for Bhumika Bhatt. Praise Giro, I haven't started reading so far. I'm facing a mental pressure now, like how can I handle VRC, and is it possible to score good percentage in VRC if I start reading from now on? Oh, definitely yes. Definitely yes. Don't add extra pressure and say, look, I'm playing catch up. Be desperate, but don't throw in the towel. Don't feel like, look, I can't amp it up from here on. It's not worth it. So the desperation should feed you and give you motivation. But if you keep saying, look, I've already missed the bus, pata nahi, ab shuru karunga, to will I have enough time? You will have enough time. Back yourself. Read for an hour every day. Your reading comfort moves in within 30 days. You won't even need 3 months. In 30 days, it starts moving. Upala Ramakrishna Prasad is currently scoring average of 85 percentile, which is good. Low VRC, making more attempts in VRC. Please give some tip. For VRC, the number one tip in order to amp up from very modest score to good score, sometimes the pressure of reading fast gets to us. Read slowly. Read passively. Don't read to retain every fact. Read for pleasure, not for completely just switching off and reading. I'm not saying don't even retain anything, but the pressure of retention sometimes kills the process of reading. So make sure that you have a mechanism where you switch off the speed reading intense mode, you're reading casually. That really makes a difference. Suman Stark, how do you build profile for CAT 2? No need to build profile for CAT. For round 1 for CAT, they look at 5 variables: class 10 score, class 12 score, undergraduation score, work experience points, CAT score. They don't have a mechanism to know whether you stood third in a volleyball team competition when you were 19. They don't. And so this whole profile is overrated. If you have something super distinctive, then amp it up. Keep it as a showcasing point. It will help immensely in your interviews. One of our students last year, she was a chartered accountant. She had worked for a while in the financial sector, and that's where she wanted to do her MBA in. She was an ace photographer, and she done proper photography. That's a massively good thing, because 2 out of 3 interviews are going to be about photography, and she knew her stuff. That's a good thing, because she has done wildlife photography, and then automatically a profile point. And she create CFA level 1 or 2 or whatever, automatic profile point. Whatever you're meaningfully doing in your career, that's your profile. Find ways of making it stand out. Find ways of communicating it well, articulating the idea well. But don't put other things on hold and say, look, I'll do a 1 stint with internship with an NGO, another stint with another freelance agency. None of those are meaningful. None of those gaming things are really useful for CAT. Anish Biswas, you mentioned that mock VRC is tougher than actual CAT paper. Can we say the same thing for? Yeah, definitely. Most mocks are tougher than actual CAT. The difference is stark for VRC, somewhat sharp for DILR, less pronounced for Quant. If you're comparing levels of difficulty, VRC is way tougher than actual CAT. LRTI is significantly tougher than actual CAT. Quant is slightly tougher than actual CAT. Mostly, most providers across the board. Ashna VLG, I have started my preparation for CAT from August 2021 onwards. I'm a working professional. Should I prepare for CAT 2021? You're eligible for CAT 2021. You should write CAT 2021. It's wonderful practice, even if you have your eyes on CAT 2022. And if you're thinking about CAT 2022 now, stick a pin on it and say, look, I'm doing everything, scrambling, taking mocks, practicing, doing several last minute things, and prepare for CAT 2021. You can start from 0 in Jan, and you'll still have this much time to prepare for CAT 2022. Don't tell yourself, I'm preparing for 2022, I'll write 2021 anyway. If that's your state of mind right now, tell yourself, I'm preparing for 2022, that may be my plan B, but my plan A is to throw everything into CAT 2021 today and take mocks, take analysis, do lots of sessions, lots of practice, tons of practice, amp everything up, sacrifice some sections, sacrifice some topics, sacrifice some ideas, but scramble and go take CAT. Then go through the interview process. Then you can restart and go from first principles all over again. You'll still have lots of time for that. But if you have a shot at 2021, take 2021. Prepare for 2021. Then worry about 2022 after everything else is over. Anvesha, give me a second. I thought this question has just disappeared. How many questions I have attempted in each section to get more than 99.5%? We have a detailed video for that in 24 hours time. So we will have a go through that. That'll be there. We've created one specifically for that. For IIT Roorkee, NC, OBC, I think 85th percentile should be sufficient. This is Jayasudan. Even lower should work. I got 3 percentile previous year. Ashutosh Mishra, should I attempt this year? Definitely. 3 percentile doesn't say that you're in a good place. But 3 percentile does not say that you have no chance. 3 percentile is a nothing score. Forget about it. Have a go again. Anybody can take and give themselves a good chance. The 3 percentile number is irrelevant. Rangarajan Madhavan, I've actually taken 3 actual CAT mocks and the percentiles range from 85 to 92. Couldn't score more due to time limit. Please suggest. Take more. If you do nothing else, no detailed analysis, your scores will go up by 20% from now to CAT. Just the act of taking mocks will increase your score. If you can add a layer of learning to it, it will give you another 10%. If you can add high quality analysis, you will find another 15-20% gains from there. People who have taken 8-10 mocks now your mark can go up by 40 to 50% from now till CAT. That's huge. So there's lots of time. Don't worry about it. Your scores can shoot from here. Samyukta Srikanth, how not to overthink and change the answer from the right one to the wrong one. If you find the magic potion, please share it with me. Please share it with the rest of us. I still do it. I've taken 10 of the last 12 CATs. I still do it. I'm so close to marking B and then I mark C. Right at the last second, it's like I flip a switch and mark that. I've tried to amp it down. I back my original gut and I don't keep changing. Bharat has the opposite strategy. He says, look, I'm torn between B and C. I feel like B is the right answer. I should mark C. I'm not a big fan of that counterintuitive logic thing, but it works for him. Thorough analysis of where your errors are coming from sometimes work. For a long time when I was doing RCs, I used to think the last 1 in 2 is just luck. It is not. It's an objective paper. It is a paper with only one correct answer. The guy who's setting the paper is creating one choice for being the correct answer and then creating one choice that is delicious but gets disqualified on some technicality. The skill is in finding that technicality and accepting that this delicious looking choice might get beaten down on technicality. So resolve those 1 and 2s consistently and the overthinking should come down. Shishir Chobe, thank you so much. Thanks for the compliment. Can we use the previous year 3-hour CAT papers as mock in 2 hours? Very difficult to make that adjustment and say, look, I'll treat it as a 2-hour mock. Treat it as a 3-hour mock, take it like that. That should still help. Naman Pandey, I get exhausted after my job. How to push myself? Prepare before your job. Wake up at 6, finish preparation, then go to your job. Very often the solutions are counterintuitive. They say put the meatiest thing right up front, right early. Sometimes constraints are there. We simply can't do it. In which case you should switch off, do something, some other gig. You come back home, you're dead tired, grab a shower, have a good meal, then start. Have tea, coffee, push yourself for 2 hours, then start. Or if you're tired, sleep, wake up early, start. Create some routine through which you keep at it. Akrosh Kalsotra, I've quit my job after 15 months experience, now a gap of 8 months. Don't worry about it. I usually say, look, if you have a chance, don't quit your job. If you quit your job, make your peace with it. I'll tell yourself things will fall in place. I will get a job when I need to. I will get a job when I start looking for one. I will get a job when things turn around slightly. Right now, I have to prepare for CAT and throw everything into that. Don't have any overhang of maybe I made some slightly wrong decision. That's not worth it. Life is too short to regret some decisions of when you're 23, 24. Check it. If you quit your job, you quit your job. Be happy about it. At least I'm not going and facing an irritating boss. Now I'll throw everything into CAT preparation. It may not fall in place. Big deal. I'll find another job for myself. Anurag Singh, according to you, sir, what should be the strategy from August? I'm from commerce background, so my quant section is not good. If your quant is not good, you're starting now. The mothership is arithmetic. And percentages, profit and loss, speed, time, ratios, mixtures, allocation, work time, pipe systems and work time, simple interest, compound interest, little bit of exponents and logarithm, averages. These form give or take half your paper. You get this half the paper right, you're looking at 94th percentile. That's in the bag. So start from there, get that comfort, then move to other things. Himani Verma, I'm doing my master's from Delhi University and working full time. I feel I should leave my job and focus myself on CAT. That is becoming really hard for me to catch up with the course properly even if I continue. Tough decision. If you have sufficient work experience and you feel like you can take the gamble, you feel like you can get another job when you need to, you feel like your masters will anyway set you up, do that. I am a fan of holding on to the job. So I come from that bias, keep that in mind. But several of you, your particular context could be very different. I come from the idea of holding on to a job because I find so many people who take the quitting job decision too easily, almost flippantly. One thing that goes wrong with the job, some 2 months don't go well, you're slightly mentally disturbed, some deliverable doesn't go well, your boss has a go at you. Then you feel like, look, I must quit my job, find myself, do an MBA, rediscover genius in me, and then launch my 2.0 career. All good, but their decisions taken in haste. And we guys used to get screamed at by our bosses. And then we had to pick ourselves up and launch ourselves back at the job. Tricky spell and work is part of life. It's going to be an integral part of your life after MBA. Sometimes I feel like I'm not a harsh enough boss to several people whom I work with. They don't fret that I'm going to have a go at them. And I'm sometimes doing a disservice to them by not pushing them hard. But it's a crucial part of growing up, where you feel like the guy is having a go at you, even though it's not your fault. But that is not necessarily a thing where you have to quit and then rediscover yourself. But your specific context for you, where you have a master's in hand, the job is too tight, and you feel like you can give yourself a shot, and you feel like you have a fail-safe. You know that if CAT doesn't work, you can get a job, and life will be fine, hunky-dory. Then that's a gamble worth taking. Harita Jain, I'm a working professional, so it often happens that I learn a topic, but after some days only I get a chance to do a bunch of questions or take a quiz, and I fail at it. This happens again for everybody. We learn an idea, and then when we revisit it, you almost feel like I have no memory of having learned this. Did I even study this? But let me tell you one thing. Suppose it takes you 4 hours to learn percentages, and then you revisit it after 2.5 months, and you feel like you don't remember anything, and you start from scratch. When you're doing it the second time around, your mind wakes up some part, you will finish it in 2 hours. Third time, you'll finish it in 45 minutes. Fourth time, you'll remember a bunch of things. That's why all learning, especially at school level, happens with a spiraling model, with continuous revisiting and revision. So you need to have the belief that even if it feels like I've forgotten everything, some crucial elements that are still in the system, they will come to the fore. Fine? And they do come to the fore. So don't worry if your revision seems like you're starting all over again. It does happen, but your mind is still digesting things. Simarpreet Singh, I'm a non-engineer and I'm looking for agri-business management. What shall be a good threshold crossing strategy for me? Please help tips. Non-engineer, first of all, non-engineer, engineer, doesn't matter. You have to tell yourself, look, maths is still 10th standard. I can still compete with anyone. Right? So back yourself. Belief is super important. Strategy for Quant, get arithmetic in the bag, 90th percentile is guaranteed. Percentages, profit and loss, ratios, mixtures, speed time ratios, pipe systems, work time, simple interest, compound interest. Get that in. You're getting 90th percentile. Half the questions will be relevant. You attend 70% of it, get all of them right. 90th percentile is in the bag. Start from there, then build out. Gotta be weird. Good display name. My semester exam got delayed because of COVID, and it will happen in the month of September. So should wait till CAT to join a job, or should immediately after semester exam? If you get a job, start the job. If your job is naturally getting delayed, stay comfortable with it. How to concentrate when we don't feel to study? Big problem, mental issues. Nobody feels motivated on day one. You have to pick yourself up. You have to say, hey, I might not be feeling at my best, but I'm still going to hang in there and do that. Sometimes the discipline pressure helps. Sometimes artificial pressures help. You've got to tell yourself, look, I'm not watching a minute of streaming till I finish 1 hour of study. I'm not even going to play. I'm not even going to watch TV. I'm not going to touch my WhatsApp before I do 45 minutes of some question. So create artificial mechanisms to push yourself. Don't ask me if I do that. Jason, I have 13 months of work experience. Is this going to affect my work points for IIM? Govern and handle and tackle and look to solve only problems that you have control over. You can't change it. Focus on CAT, get that right. You cannot suddenly have 43 months of experience. So check it. Shivatanu says, I'm in my 3rd year of engineering and be technically eligible only for CAT 2022. What should be the ideal preparation schedule for the next 4 to 5 months, keeping CAT 2021 in mind? If you can't take CAT 2021, don't take it. They take your iris and your fingerprinting and all that. Don't take a chance. It's not worth it. So you can do the marks, you can see the paper, you can try it out. But don't take CAT 2021 if you're not eligible to take it. For 2022, start from first principles, read a lot, be switched on. Those things pay off. Akrosh Kalsotra, I'm a freelance photographer. Can I put it in my resume? Definitely, my friend. You stand out for something, it has to be in. Aditya Rao, can I write GMAT with CAT prep? With some adjustments. About 70% of the preparation is common. CAT Quant is at a much higher level. LRDA is really a bonus. VRC is also tough for CAT. But for GMAT, you need to add sentence correction and critical reasoning. That's important, crucial, especially sentence correction. For quant, you need to get comfortable with data sufficiency. But those are adjustments. 70% of the preparation is in place. I'm stuck at 85 to 90th percentile in VRC. Any tips to do that? Resolve your 1 in 2s. The final thing, resolve that. Make sure your error rate is low. That is super crucial. I'm just trying to locate this question. I feel like I've missed a lot of questions. I'm just trying to locate them. Several are on VRC, so I'm going to take some time out. We're going to do a separate session on VRC as well, sooner rather than later. Read slowly. Don't put the pressure of reading very quickly when it comes to VRC section. For going to the 80th percentile or 85th percentile in VRC, the magic mantra is read slowly. 85th to 97, 98, that is going to be about resolving your 1 in 2. If you're in 85th percentile, good chance that you read a passage, understand most of it, and you look at a question and you're sure that it is between B and C. The guys who get 98 are the ones who get this 1 out of 2s consistently right. The guys who get 85 are the ones who get this consistently wrong. So 85 to 98 is going to be about that journey. You can narrow it down to 2 choices. How am I going to make that better and better? Go through the solution, revisit the passage, see why your answer choice is wrong. It should go. Several are talking about belief. So it's a very wonderful idea. Several saying that your mock scores are going to be volatile. Those of you starting now and saying, look, I'm terrified. I don't know whether it is possible. I don't know whether it is whether I have enough time. Maybe it's not possible. Maybe there isn't enough time. That is not a good enough reason to not prepare. And so it's very often the pressure or the anxieties of uncertainty, we take it all on ourselves. And that can be crippling to effort. The uncertainty is not going to go away. When the uncertainty is rampant now, it's there all over the place, and there's talk of uncertainty. But to be very, very honest, the uncertainty that is there now is only quantified better. It's only talked about more. It's only anxiety inducing more. All of us live in our new world and say that everything is so uncertain now. If you dial the clock back 20 years, the uncertainty was even higher then. The random variables were even worse then. When we guys used to take CAT, there were only 6 colleges. You guys are worried about the chances of the college rank 25 being tougher or vague now. We didn't have college rank 25. The economy was smaller. We all got our call letters by snail mail, our confirmation letters by snail mail. There's no percentile score, no transparency, no RTI, nothing. You could take CAT and some of your letters might not get delivered. This actually happened for Bhaskar. He got into FMS and he was about to go join. And then from somewhere, somebody said there's a letter for you. And that was his IMCAL confirmation. It had not reached his place. So he finally went to IMCAL. So the guys in 20 years ago, we had severe uncertainty. We didn't know where we were going. You're all set on a career path. You have a job. Guys would finish engineering and would have to find a job from scratch. There's no placement, all that. But now, this era, uncertainty is captured and spoken of so much, and that creates this ambient anxiety. And so how do we handle it? Honestly, I don't know. I don't have any mantra for handling uncertainty. I get vexed and frustrated. I feel like it is all unfair and unjust. And I start ranting. And guys in my office have to bear with it every now and then. But what I double down into is I say, look, I don't know. I don't know what's the best marketing strategy. I don't know what's the best way to get a share of the minds of all of these people who are sitting on YouTube, compete with everyone else and convey that we do a good job. So I don't know all the answers, but what I will definitely do is I'll say, look, I don't know all this. I'll take 3 classes a week and do a damn neat job, prepare for it intensely, be well rested, and go with full josh and intensity and take it. I'll go and talk with all these students and speak to them about different challenges. Do the best I can throw in. I'll amp up my classes, I'll amp up the YouTube sessions, I'll amp up content creation, I'll amp up solving and teaching. And therefore, I feel like if I do all the input variables right, even if the output doesn't fall my way, at least I've tried my best. So amp up your input variables. Make your input variables measurable. Don't make your output variables sacrosanct. You cannot be aggrieved that your last 3 mocks couldn't fetch you a 97 percentile. You should be saying, look, I tried, I gave it a shot, let me take one more. Our ability to pick ourselves up and launch ourselves into something again is more crucial, way more crucial than hitting some magical percentile number. So the stress comes because you're fretting about outcomes. There, one, there's several variables involved, and two, there are several variables that are not in your control. You can't do jack about how everybody else is writing the exam. So the percentile metric is actually dependent on that. Fine. So, but you can worry about, have I read enough? Am I being careful while marking choices? Am I being switched off? Do I have the stamina? Am I well rested? Am I doing enough to feel good and have the intangibles working for me? If all those are yes, then the stress will automatically reduce. You need to find a mechanism to reduce the output sensitivity and increase the adrenaline. It really works for you. It is super important to not worry about outcomes all the time. Otherwise, we are a mess. Vishesh Singh, I got my first mock and got 5 percentile, fine deep. The first 6-7 marks are just for taking. They're not for analyzing. They analyze the gaps and improve your question selection, but check the percentiles. I've had friends of mine who had miserable mock scores and have gone on to IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta. Hit the real highs. So the first few mocks, they don't really count. You tell me your 25th mock, you got 25 percentile, I'll probably tell you, dude, there's maybe a message in this. You're either not doing it the right way or you're not cut out for this. Your first mock, 0th percentile, you're still good. Chahat Suman, please make a video on mock analysis. There are multiple videos on mock analysis on our own YouTube channel. Give them a go. 97 percentile in Sarbeshwar Behra, 97 percentile in CAT 20 with an abysmal 50th percentile in DILR. What to do apart from practicing sets? Practice sets have a very good, well-refined, good selection mechanism. Don't carry the weight of your previous DILR. It could be just luck on the day. It's 40 minutes. One puzzle this way and you could have had 88 percentile. And you know it. You've got 97 percentile overall, you're a smart kid. So you don't have to overanalyze this. Again, sportsmen are very conscious about this. Suppose you're fishing around the off stump and you get out a couple of times. They tell themselves, look, I got to be careful about my off stump, but I'm not changing my style. Otherwise, my instinct deserts me. If you're continuously worried about one thing, then your instinct goes away. You become very conservative. That doesn't work. And forget about it. You've got 50th percentile, make some adjustment, but forget the 50th percentile. Should I leave any topic now for CAT? You can. If you're super convinced it's not working for you. But I would argue that with 3.5 months, 4 months to go, there is still time. There's still time to amp it up. Srivat's 4.3 years of experience till date. Is it too late to do a full-time MBA? Definitely not. The MBA used to be a freshers game in 2000. Used to be a game for guys with 1 year, 1.5 years experience in 10 years ago. But now the median experience is 3 years. You're going to be a year and a half older than the median guy. Not an issue. Does 2IIM conduct physical classes in Chennai? Yes, we've done it for every year for several years. But right now we're not doing, for obvious reasons. We will start it another couple of months. How to select the right DILR set. This is from Sriram. Sriram, there's a specific video which is quite beautifully done by Bharat on our channel. Just say DILR question set selection. It's a beautiful video. I cannot do justice better than that. Go through that. Simarpreet Singh, I'm not an engineer. I'm looking for agri-business. We've already covered that. 12 months of sailing experience as an engineer in merchant navy. Does that count as working? Oh, definitely yes. Full-time paid employment. You'll have your employment certificate. It will count. My highest score in mocks was 83, but I'm not able to cross that peak. Given around 12 to 13 mocks, there is a lot of time. Given 12, 13 mocks, analyze your mocks, see what you did differently in the 80 to 83. It could be intangible. It could be your energy level. It could be being more switched on in the last 25 minutes, just feeling lucky. It will happen. There's a lot of time to go still. You will cross that peak and go way beyond. Kumar issue, fear of quant has subsided. Lovely. Still working on fear of LRDI. Go for it, friend. Srihari, do we have an on-screen calculator in the exam? Definitely yes. Shivansh Saraswat, I've completed my BTech 2019. After that, working on my startup, now preparing for CAT. Will it be easy for me? Prepare well, put your head down. It is possible. It is not easy for anybody. And so if you have basic quant foundation in place and a reading habit, it is very much doable. What should be my prep plan? My VRC is too bad while others are good. VRC is too bad and others are good. Then focus on reading a lot. If you do 2 hours of reading per day, in 30 days, your VRC will go from too bad to okay, decent. And decent is 85th percentile. Get that. And then you can say, how do I improve my question selection? How do I improve my final choice selection? All of that. Read slowly, build reading habit, read slowly in exam. 80th percentile is doable. After that, we'll see how we can go to 92, 93. Akshay Pandey, I'm practicing. My thing just went away. Please tell LRDI. This is Ashutosh Gupta. LRDI, the crucial factor as far as the exam is concerned is question selection. Crucial factor as far as preparation is concerned is on 2 points. One is variety, 2 is going through the solutions. And so several times I find students trying an LRDI set, getting it reasonably okay, getting it right in reasonable amount of time, trying the next one, not getting it right, and then analyzing the paper from the point of view of how many attempts, how many errors, how many right, how many wrong, what score, what percentile. Doesn't matter. Those metrics matter less than saying, okay, I didn't get this one right. I must go through the solution and think about what is it that that guy started with, and why did I not start with that constraint, and how can I make sure that I start with that constraint next time around or leave this set. You have to listen to the solution done in an intuitive fashion by somebody who has cracked it, who solved that puzzle. And if you don't do that, then you're just doing lots of practice and not taking value from it. So spend time going through the solutions. Amit Gangwani, please comment on sectional practice as well. If you have one weak section, double down on it. For quant, the mantra is raw practice. For VARC, for the first yard, it is reading. For reading habit is a thing. Reading slowly is a crucial thing. For LRDI, variety is important. Going through solutions is important. Aniruddha Kakre, good scores in sectionals, but it drastically falls in full mock. It could be a fatigue issue, it could be a tiredness issue, it could be an adrenaline issue, it could be a pressure issue. Take mocks, don't take too many sectionals. Sectionals give misguiding pictures. It's like saying I'll practice only for batting or only for fielding. Everything has to come together during that set. A team cannot say I'll do only one thing. It doesn't work. The pressure of quant, after having done 80 minutes of a mock, where you got completely beaten up in LRDI, is super high. That cannot be mimicked in a quant sectional. Fatigue will play a role, analysis and feeling bad and feeling good will play a role, stress and adrenaline will play a role. So you can't mimic that in sectionals. So don't rely too much on sectionals. Amit Sinha, how to go from 70 to 99 in 100 days, which is pretty much what we have been discussing so far. I've got 87th percentile in LRDI. Can I get 99 in CAT? Definitely yes. How to select the right RC? For me, this is from Aparna Pathak. For me, the first paragraph is a giveaway. I don't look at questions. I don't look at the length of the passage. If I read the first paragraph and I generally get it, I understand most of what is being said, I'm happy. If the passage is readable and I understand it, I'm happy tackling even tougher questions. If the passage is vague, then I'm in deep trouble. So for me, the first paragraph, and I understand most of it, I'm through, I'm happy. Is it better to attempt RCs first and para-jumbles later? That's my preferred strategy. Para-jumbles don't give you a feeling of having attempted anything. I find it incredibly tough to write down 4132 in a box and feel like I've attempted a question that I reasonably believe I will get right. There are so many options. I know that 1-3 is a link, but I don't know whether it is 1-3-4-2 or 4-1-3-2. So I'm really unsure even if I mark the choice. So it doesn't give me a feeling of having attempted. Para summary and sentence elimination, they're all similar. More than anything else, the more I do this, the more I know I have only RCs to deal with. I don't want to end with RCs. Because if you have 10 minutes to go and you're starting on an RC, the pressure to read quickly is so high that I read without registering much. So I always start with RCs, then go to the other component. Abhishek Anand, what to take into account from 2 hours exam? Fine, so just go for try. See, the decision making has to be spot on, energy has to be spot on. Some practice is super crucial. Making an adjustment to a 2-hour exam will take 4 or 5 marks. Take those 4 or 5 marks and then take stock. It's too early to have a super strategy, foolproof strategy for 2-hour marks without having taken a few. Jump in, take a few. The variables are tougher because the time frame is super compressed. But take a few, you will see some patterns emerging. Mocks taking schedule from now on, Aditya Jain, this is super important. You should be on at least 1 per week kind of treadmill from now on. You should say every Sunday 11 to 2 I'm taking a mock, 11 to 1 I'm taking a mock, 1:30 to 2 I do 1 round of analysis, 2 to 4 I do a thorough analysis. So you must have 1 per week kind of thing with a scheduled time from now on, and then you can add on to that. This part should be not negotiable. You should say, look, every Sunday I'm going to start the day, have a coffee, have some chai, 7 to 9 I take a mock, or I take stock, I have a good breakfast, 10 to 12 I take a mock. Something which is not negotiable, 1 per week is mandatory. Broader schedule, you should be doing, you should amp up from 1 per week now to 2 per week by the time it's kind of mid-September. From mid-September to end of October, it should be 2 to 3 per week. November, you take stock, find your preferred mock provider, find your comfortable mock, dial down closer to the exam, don't do mocks till the day before the exam. Aditya Kalra, where to read from for VRC? Finally, I have a question that I can confidently answer. Bharat's list. Bharat's reading list is the mothership. Go through that. He picks one. There are probably 800 articles from his list on our website. You can go there. That's the mothership. Just Google Bharat's reading list. You will find that. Ashutosh Gupta, please tell how to go about DILR. We have covered that. We have covered that twice over, my friend. Shagun Trivedi, I completed my graduation last year. I'm not currently working and don't really have amazing academics. Should I target IIMs or maybe something lower? Target CAT, my friend. Get a good percentile. And then that opens some doors. Don't worry about what are my chances if I get 94th percentile, given that I don't have work experience and have not great academics. Tell yourself, I'll get 95th percentile. I'll throw everything into that. Then what doors open, they open. I know for every guy who's got 99.8 and did not get a call from IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta. I know 5 guys who had very iffy academics, kept that aside, had that uncertainty bothering them, put tons of effort into this, got a 98.4, got stunning calls from leaving out the top 6, 7, converted 1 or 2 of them, and have done excellently in their MBA. Guys with horror academics consistently go to good B schools on the back of a good CAT score, and they do well there because specifically the massive advantage they have if they've already had one opportunity and thrown it away. They know that this is some kind of a second chance for them. They nail it. I'm not saying they're the toppers or they always come first or second, but they know that I have been given an opportunity and I'm not missing it. I'm not throwing this away. And so every year we have few people who say, look, I thought my academics would prevent me from going anywhere. They just locked out 4 colleges or 10 colleges for me. I still could go to the 7th ranked college in the country and do really well. So academics, poor academics is a stumbling block. It's not a deal breaker. Don't fret about that now. Get a good CAT score. I know the basics of quants and I'm unable to solve, this is Kaushal Padiyar, I'm unable to solve questions in the mocks. From which material I should start solving? Previous year CAT paper is a brilliant place to start. The CAT question bank on 2IIM is fabulous. It's too good to not go through. Just Google 2IIM questions, you'll find our question bank. There are probably more than 1,000 questions of CAT level. Start from there. You can't really go wrong with that. Ajay, I'm taking my GMAT on October 4th. Best wishes, my friend. Taking GMAT mocks only. How can I start off my CAT mocks? Finish GMAT, then attack CAT. Do one exam, focus on that, get it right. From October 4 to November 28, you still have nearly 2 months. You'll have time. Where to read for RCs from free sources? Bharat's reading list, my friend. Last few questions. What is the right balance between VA and RC in 40 minutes? Start with RC, end with VA. Some point of time you feel like you're running out of RCs, then go to VA. If you feel like, look, RCs are not working, I have only one more passage and I'm going to dump it because it's too tough, finish everything in VA. Start with RC, take a decision after that. Arvind Kishore, 96, 92, 8.8. I'm able to score 75 to 80 percentile in match. How much should I aim for IIMs? You can amp it up, my friend. You can go to 93, 94 from now on. There is enough time to amp up your score. How to get 2 IIM marks? Just ping us. There are plenty of mock CAT scores. We can give you the link. Durgesh Chaudhary, being a working professional, not getting enough time for CAT preparation. How should I allot my time? Mocks and mock analysis is really the real deal from now on. So it's good that you're doing that, and that part being not negotiable is crucial. Then allocate time based on where you need to fill the gaps, based on what the mocks are telling you. Dice rolled, how to increase speed in LRDI? No magic bullet, get tons of practice. Previous year CAT papers are a good source of practice. Go through solutions in depth. It will go up, speed will go up. I'm going to switch over and then I'm going to see if I can find the PPT that Subhash keeps, Subhash has mentioned very kindly. I'm going to see if I can find that. Wonderful. Let it open up. Whenever it opens up, we can have a crack at that. And maybe we can sign off with that. Vidhi Gupta, I had a stellar first round of prep, started January. I've hit a slump since June, and I'm having trouble recovering from this. Hang in there. This happens to everybody. You have one good spell, and then you'll have to find a mechanism to bounce back. You will have to do that. You can't say, my best time is behind me. It's impossible. You'll have to say, you have to find out the good things that work for you, go back, revisit the basics, figure out and recognize the joy in whatever you were enjoying before, and then rediscover that part. If you don't do that, then that will be a travesty. 1 second, just need to figure out a mechanism. For some reason this is not working. Let's see, maybe it will come, maybe it will not come. I think we have covered enough ground. I'm not worried about it. If it comes, it will be good. What is your advice for NMAT? Take more chances for sure, and spend less time per question. That's important. Anurag Pansari, suppose I have 3 to 4 minutes left in the section and have 2 RCs left. What should be my approach? Your approach should be to make sure that you don't find yourself in that place. You cannot start an RC passage with 3-4 minutes left. Your mind automatically wanders to the questions. You look at the question, try to find the answer, and 3 minutes disappear in front of your eyes. You have to tell yourself the last 3-4 minutes is for all this, the other questions, your para jumbles and sentence elimination. You can't start an RC passage with 4 minutes to go. It doesn't work. Lakan Takwani, 2 IIM question bank is gold. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Please go through that. We're insanely proud of that. We built it brick by brick. We covered a lot of ground, and it's actually a fabulous bit. We built it over years and actually works brilliantly. Shiva Prasad, BTech E2014 passed out. I'm confused whether to take CAT coaching or else join IT job. Both, my friend, both. You'll have do both. Why should you do one or the other? Abid Ahmed, what concept should we learn before approaching LRDI questions? Basic math, comfort with percentages, comfort with arithmetic, you're good to go. Pallav Goyal, target score in each section for 88, 85 and 99 percentile. We have an exclusive video coming out for that just 24 hours from now. Have a go at that. Target time per RC. So you're going to deal with 4 RC passages and 10 other questions for 40 minutes. If you're saying, look, I'm looking at a rock star score and I want to get 99 point high percentile, you're looking to attempt all 4. Then about 7 to 8 minutes per passage. This is insanely tough. My gut feel, if you take 10 minutes for a passage, but generally your accuracy is good, you're on your way to a 99 percentile comfortably. You can do 3 passages for sure and do an assortment of questions outside of this. Between these two, you've got it covered. How to overcome fear regarding a particular section. This is CAT prep, practice, and de-emphasizing outcomes, kind of saying, look, it's fun, I'm going to give myself a chance. It takes effort to redefine that, to change your perspective, but it's possible. Gantla Sai Krishna, how to make a revision for CAT. I've completed arithmetic, so should I revise simultaneously with learning? This is super important. Don't learn tons of new topics without revising. You do topic 1, 2, 3, 4, revisit 1, 2 before going to 5, 6, revisit 3, 4 before going to 7, 8, come back to 1, 2. Keep revisiting topics, otherwise the ideas fly away. And when you do 1 to 20 and then come back to 1, you will feel like, I don't remember anything from topic 1. That's very unnerving. Keep revisiting. Dikshar Jage, find Quant a bit tough. Any other material apart from Arun Sharma? Arun Sharma books sometimes are very tough, my friend. Go through previous year CAT questions, go through the 2IM question bank, go through some basic material. That's super important. Ritik Ghoshal, I'm able to score around 60th percentile only. What is the maximum possible? You can go beyond 90. There's a lot of time. Don't worry, there's a lot of time. Your percentile now is not a relevant metric. Aditya Jain, DILR just doesn't seem to be working for me. Even one set is difficult. Hang in there. It does get easier. You will get better and better in selecting the right questions and doing them quicker. So give yourself a chance to hang in there. I'm going to take a break here. There's a fabulous offer on our courses till I think August 16th. Check that out. Definitely, if you're not a trial user for 2IM, you're really missing something. You don't need to, I'm not saying go and buy the course. You're probably never going to say that. Go check out the course. There's tons of content that you can check out and validate for yourself. Do that. If you're saying you're serious about CAT preparation, your time is precious. You need to take the right decisions in terms of what CAT coaching you pick up. Online works brilliantly. Online on a good platform can make a world of difference. And you have to have the confidence to say, look, I'm going to check out this content for an hour. If it works for me, I'm buying it. Go check out that content. Several times I get annoyed when people say I bought this course and then later regretted it. I'm like, why would you do that? Why did you not check it out in the first place? Somebody doesn't give you a trial shot, don't buy that course. At 2IM, we give you a trial section for every section. You can check out one topic in Quant, 2 in Quant, 1 in LRDI, 1 in VRC, 1,000 videos on our YouTube channel, much more besides that before you take any purchase decision. And so check it out, validate for yourself, see if it makes sense for you before you make a purchase decision. Yash Mittal, 2IM question bank is helping a lot. It's a super question bank. Wonderful, folks. I think we've pretty much covered everything. Many apologies to Subhash, which was super keen on this, and I missed it out because I came in a hurry and I completely forgot about this. Please do check out the course. There's wonderful offer available till August 16th. So check out the course, validate it. Happy Independence Day to all of you. Wear your flags, do the flag hoisting with pride. There are several things wrong with our country. We all know that, but it's still a marvel. It's still a good time. August 15th is a good time to remind ourselves of the fact that it's still a marvel. We are a work in progress. How to keep enjoying the process of preparation amidst so many distractions? Cut off the distractions. Cut off WhatsApp, cut off Facebook, cut off Instagram. There is nothing in these platforms that is going to be super enriching for you years from now. All this motivational thing and so-called useful thing they're all high quality. They're all enticing. They're all crucial, but they come with unintended consequences. You go into a wormhole and you come out of it 2 hours later. So that the 7 minutes of beautiful value that is sitting inside this 2 hours of random nonsense, it's not worth it. So I would recommend strongly cutting off from all of this and then taking up your preparation plan more seriously. The rest of the gigs, they don't meaningfully contribute in toto. There are obviously some corners, each of these that are brilliant, but you have to see the sum total impact. Like if suppose you attended this session and you got 3 ideas, brilliant. But then we finish this session 5 minutes from now, you spend another half an hour on YouTube. That's not worthwhile. So So you have to draw the line and draw the lines beautifully and very in super disciplined fashion. Wonderful, guys. I'm going to knock off. Last couple of questions. Abrar Hassan could not perform quants in mock, but when I try the same after, it does happen. One is fatigue. Quant is the third section. Second is exam stress. Both of these will get super well combated if you just take enough mocks. If you take mock after mock after mock, fatigue gets pushed out, that exam stress gets pushed up, adrenaline gets pushed up, and it will work. Wonderful, guys. I think we pretty much covered everything. I'm seeing quite a few questions just repeating from the same pattern. Lovely to meet all of you. Have a great weekend. We will catch up soon enough. I think we have another session lined up in I think 2 or 3 weeks time. We will be there at 2 AM. We have a super pipeline of content for our YouTube channel as well. We've run out of quality questions in Quant from previous year papers. We will put all of them in. I think we will shift out to some other exams, maybe IIFT or SNAP, where we find juicy questions. But we've got sessions lined up for individual sections. We've got preparation plan strategies, all of those lined up. So do subscribe to our channel, hit like on the good videos. We have tons of good content. I'm sure you guys know that. Lovely to meet up with you guys. Wonderful. I will catch up with you guys, say 3 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now. Sure. Have a good weekend. And once again, happy Independence Day.